There has always been one king of editing, and that is Photoshop. For decades, it has ruled the creative world. Designers, photographers, and digital artists have depended on it to bring imagination to life. But something is changing. A new tool has quietly entered the scene, and it is so powerful, so effortless, that people are starting to whisper about it as the true Photoshop killer. What makes this new technology different is not just photo editing. It is artificial intelligence that understands characters, environments, and context. It can generate images, change objects, and most importantly, maintain character consistency across multiple edits. In other words, if you create a person once, this tool remembers them. You can place that character in different poses, backgrounds, and scenarios while keeping their look identical every time. That is something Photoshop has never been able to achieve out of the box. So today, let us dive deep into this so-called Photoshop killer. I will explain what it is, how it works, and why creators around the world are already calling it a revolution in design and storytelling. Step 1. Why Photoshop has always been the standard. To understand why this new AI editing tool is making noise, we need to first recognize the power of Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is a professional-grade software that has been the industry standard for decades. From airbrushing portraits to designing advertisements, Photoshop has been the go-to platform for creative professionals. It gives users full control over layers, colors, masks, and effects. It is not just a photo editor. It is a digital canvas where imagination comes alive. But with all its power, Photoshop has a big problem. It is complex, time-consuming, and requires a steep learning curve. New users often feel overwhelmed by its endless menus and functions. Even professionals can spend hours on small edits. And here is the real issue: Photoshop is manual. Every cutout, every retouch, every adjustment needs human input. That means consistency is hard to achieve. If you try to replicate the same person in 10 different images, you will spend hours making sure the details align. That is where AI steps in with a completely different approach. Step 2. Enter the AI editing revolution. Artificial intelligence has completely transformed how we look at images. Instead of manually adjusting pixels, AI understands context. If you tell it to remove a background, it does it instantly with precision. If you tell it to add an object, it generates it naturally with shadows and lighting that match the scene. This is not just faster, it is smarter. Tools like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, and DALL-E have already proven how powerful AI image generation can be, but what they lacked until now was true consistency. If you created a character in one image, you could not guarantee the same person would appear in another. Faces would change, details would shift, and continuity was lost. That problem is what stopped AI from replacing Photoshop until now. Step 3. The secret weapon. Character consistency. Here is the game changer. The new AI editing tool introduces character consistency. Imagine designing a digital model. Let us call her Sarah. With traditional AI, if you asked for Sarah in a beach setting, then Sarah in an office, and then Sarah hiking, you would end up with 3 slightly different women. The eyes might change, the smile might shift, or the hairstyle might be off. But with character consistency, AI locks onto the exact features of Sarah. Every new image it generates keeps her identity intact. That means Sarah looks the same in all scenarios, like a real person being photographed in different settings. For storytellers, marketers, and content creators, this is massive. You no longer need to rely on stock photos, models, or expensive photo shoots. You can create your own brand ambassador once and use them across hundreds of campaigns. Step 4. How AI editing works behind the scenes. So how does this new AI editing actually work? The process combines image generation with deep learning recognition. The system first analyzes the key traits of the character: face shape, hairstyle, skin tone, and other defining features. It stores this data as a reference point. Then, when you ask for new edits, the AI references that stored identity. Instead of starting from scratch, it layers the new context around the consistent character. That is how you can place the same person in different locations, outfits, and poses while maintaining perfect accuracy. Another secret is prompt engineering. By giving the AI clear instructions, you can refine details like lighting, mood, or artistic style. Want your character to appear in a Pixar-style cartoon? It can do that. Want them in a photorealistic photo shoot? Just change the prompt. The flexibility is endless. Step 5. Features that make it a Photoshop killer. Now let us compare this AI editing tool with Photoshop. Here are the features that set it apart: instant object removal and replacement instead of carefully cloning or masking. AI removes objects in one click and fills the space face naturally. Automatic background generation, you can swap backgrounds instantly without worrying about lighting or shadows looking fake. Realistic human characters, the AI can create people from scratch that look authentic and consistent. Character consistency across edits, the most important feature, ensuring your created subject never changes. Ease of use, while Photoshop takes years to master, this tool is simple enough for beginners. When you add all this together, it becomes clear why people are calling it a Photoshop killer. It is not just a competitor, it is a complete shift in how digital editing is done. Step 6. What you can do with it. Let me give you some real examples of how powerful this is. Content creators can design their own digital avatars to appear in thumbnails, banners, and social media posts without needing professional photo shoots. Marketers can create entire ad campaigns with the same model, appearing in different outfits, poses, and scenes, all generated by AI. Authors can design characters for their books and keep them consistent across illustrations. Educators can make avatars to explain lessons visually while keeping the same look every time. Filmmakers can storyboard entire scenes using consistent characters. This opens doors that were impossible before. Instead of hiring multiple resources, you now have full creative control with just one AI tool. Step 70. The limitations to be aware of. Of course, no tool is perfect. There are still some limitations with AI editing. For example, sometimes fine details like hands or accessories may look slightly distorted. The technology is improving rapidly, but it is not flawless yet. Another challenge is ethical use. Since AI can create photorealistic people, there is a danger of misuse. Fake images or misleading content can easily be generated, which is why responsible use is important. Also, while the free versions are powerful, advanced features like higher resolution or commercial rights often come with paid plans, so it is not entirely free forever. Step 8. Why creators are calling it the future despite these challenges. Creators are calling this the future of editing. Why? Because it saves time, reduces costs, and unlocks creativity. Tasks that used to take hours in Photoshop now take minutes with AI. Think about how photography changed when digital cameras replaced film. At first, people resisted, but eventually, digital became the standard. That is the same shift we are seeing here. AI editing is the digital camera moment for design. Once you experience how fast and easy it is, you will not want to go back. Step 9. The battle between Adobe and AI startups. One of the most interesting developments is how Adobe is responding. Photoshop is not going away quietly. Adobe has already introduced its own AI features under the brand Firefly, which includes generative fill, background replacement, and object creation. But here is the difference. Adobe is building AI as an add onto an already complex platform. Meanwhile, new AI-first startups are building their tools from the ground up, focusing entirely on simplicity and automation. The real question is, will Adobe adapt fast enough, or will one of these new players truly dethrone Photoshop? Right now, the momentum seems to be on the side of these new AI editors. Step 10. The future of creative work. Looking ahead, the future of creative work will be a blend of human imagination and AI execution. Instead of spending hours doing technical work, creators will spend more time directing and conceptualizing. Imagine telling your AI assistant, create a poster with my character standing on a mountain at sunset wearing a red jacket. Within seconds, you have a polished result. The barrier between idea and execution will disappear. And here is the fascinating part. We are moving into a world where everyone can be a creator. You no longer need years of training in Photoshop. With AI, creativity is democratized. That means more voices, more ideas, and more innovation than ever before. So there you have it. The secret Photoshop killer is not just another tool. It is a revolution in how we create, edit, and imagine. With insane AI editing features and true character consistency, it is doing what Photoshop never could. Will it replace Photoshop completely? Maybe not today, but the writing is on the wall. The creative world is shifting, and those who embrace these tools early will be ahead of the curve. If you are curious, try one of these AI editors for yourself. Create a character, test the consistency, and see the magic. You will realize very quickly why so many people are saying this is the future. The world of editing has changed forever, and the question is, are you ready to change with it? Thanks so much for sticking around until the end. If you found this video helpful or fun, hit that like button and subscribe to join our community. Don't forget to look in the description. I've added some special links you might find really useful. Plus, I'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment with your thoughts or questions. Your support really helps, and it means a lot. Catch you in the next video.